Hey, what's that button word?
Give me my thing, you.
What's that pride, bro? What's that pride?
It's pride, man. Flip my JSU all the way over, man.
Man, we got a special guest, man. I'm excited about today, man. People been talking about this for a minute. We finally getting Rome in the house. What's up, Rome?
What's good with y'all, man?
Get it, man.
Let's get it, dude.
This ain't our first rodeo, though. I don't know why nobody never seen them other shows.
I know, man, because maybe
Kim Rome is burning.
yeah, it probably just been too long. It just been too long. That's all. It's just been too long. But yeah, man. So we gonna be talking about the owners meeting talk. Because there's a lot going around with that, man. So I'm excited to go through that with the big homie, Rome. We also got Big Game James. He gonna be coming in a second. Word. We got the OC, man. We figured out how to get him in, so he gonna like the final word. So, man, how y'all feeling?
Feeling good, man.
I'm feeling good, man. Feeling great.
Outside of Jerry Jones, but you know how you do.
Yeah. You know, was it wishful thinking to think that we was gonna have a clean off season with no distractions?
The final word.
The final word.
The final word.
But you guys know how it is.
Word.
The final word.
Yeah, we know how it is.
Jerry, what you think?
The final word.
The final word.
The final word. Yeah, man. So now I like today, man. We got some good clips from the owners meeting. I really, honestly cannot wait to get into it. It's gonna be dope today. I'm excited, man. I'm really excited to hear from everybody on all this stuff. Like real talk.
The final word.
Yeah, man. So, man, y'all stay with us, man. We gonna be right back. Let me get this music going. I'm just changing some stuff in the background. Be right back. Y'all stay with the final word. Be right back.
The final word. That's the way. The final word. The final word. The final word.
The final word.
The final word.
The final word.
The final word. The final word.
The final word.
The final word.
The final word.
The final word.
Yeah.
DJ All Nation.
Talk, baby. Give me my theme music.
Let's go.
Lately I just wanna run it up. Can we check or something? I've been really in the field, let up, yeah. I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Have to take it to a meal. Lately I just wanna run it up. Yeah. Kinda check or something. Lately I just wanna run it up. Count that too, count it up, yeah. Count it up. Lately I just wanna run it up. Need them ones, I need them fives. Need them tens, I need that change. To the safe, got blues inside.
Come on.
Greens and pinks, it's all the same. I still save and roll my change. Take some losses when I play, charge it to the game. I'm with L, yeah, I'm with T-Black, I'm with Reverend now. I'm with Bay, yeah, I'm with Jay, yeah, I'm with Chuck and now. still the same, not switching sides, now it's about loyalty. You switch sides off for the bag, and that's worth more to me. I mix Nike with designer, I experiment. You just rock what's on the shelf, and I'm not feeling it. Search for the one, but baby girl, it's nothing real as this. Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer, call it too legit. I've been really in the field, love the rush, I love the feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
All right, man. We got Cowboy fan talk in the house. Man, first of all, man, let's start with you, man. Obviously, man, you're not new to the channel. You're not new to anything going on, man. What's up, man? Welcome.
What's good with y'all, man? How y'all feeling?
Oh, man, chilling on it, man. So, obviously, it's been a whole lot of news going around, right? Especially from this owners meeting. So, I kind of got this already kind of broken down. Like, I got it broken down. So, now, before we kind of get into all that stuff, I want to kind of first kind of get y'all... No. I ain't gonna do it like that, because I'm gonna wait till Big them get here. You know why too, Law? Because we got to talk about the Zeke stuff. You know what I'm saying? Him and the OC, we got to talk about that. We gonna say it as, I was gonna start off with Zeke. Now we gonna start off with something else. So in the owners meeting, the main guy to talk, the most important guy to talk is Mike McCarthy. So I got this broken up in clips. All of these clips have come from Mike Fisher's channel, so y'all make sure y'all go check it out. The full, the unedited clips is on, the link is in the description, so y'all go check that out. But we gonna start it off, we gonna kick it off, man. We wanna kind of get everybody's opinion on it. We gonna start with the hot picks and his opinion on the hot picks and just go from there. So we gonna take this and just kind of go line by line on the owners talks that's going on right now. Here we go.
This year. Just talk about those two guys and what do making those sort of picks, what message does it send in the locker room to get that quality of guy?
Well, I think that the message it sends to the locker room is just, how much we believe in the locker room. I mean, obviously they're two very high quality veterans. I think they're played.
Oh, hold on. Wait. I'm sorry.
Man.
Hey, I'm doing too much, man. You already know how you go. Give me my theme music. Let's go.
Clearly speaks for themselves. I think anybody that's followed Brandon Stefan or just from pure football ability and production, you're definitely excited about it. But the type of people they are, you could see it immediately just when they came in to sign their contracts. The impact that they'll make, particularly with our young players. So real excited the way they fit into our locker room, because I always continue to emphasize that the locker room is the most important component of the football operations, and I feel we have an excellent locker room to build off of, and these guys are a great fit for us, both.
So obviously right there, he was talking about Stefan and he was talking about Brandon Cook. So Law, we gonna kick it off with you, man, and what's your thoughts on what he was talking about with the locker room impact and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, man, experience goes a long way. And when you bring in someone with experience, it helps out. Now, veteran presence is what we've been asking for.
Yep.
Of course, CeeDee Lamb last year was phenomenal. It was his third year. Now he's going into his fourth year. So some of that pressure will automatically be alleviated. But this is like a twofold situation, because what's married to their career is these things right here. My guy, Trayvon Diggs and CeeDee Lamb, both drafted in the same year, right?
Yeah.
So now that you got both of those guys getting extra added help from a veteran aspect, which is dope in my opinion.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on this?
No, I think, I think like with say the question one more time.
So like Mike McCarthy was talking about the veteran presence of Gilmore and Cooks, and just like how from day one he saw it. Like, man, them boys go come in here and make a difference.
Well, you got to think they professional football players, and I say that, I know that sounds like a generic statement.
Yeah.
But they both have been to the pinnacle.
Mm-hmm.
They've both been on multiple teams. They've seen how multiple locker rooms worked, and although the national media has been trying to make that look like a negative, that's a positive. They've seen bad locker rooms because they've been to multiple locker rooms. They've seen the way bad teams are run, and they can step into the situation with the Cowboys and see that it's not only a stable situation right now, and they can see instantly oh no, this team got talent to really do something. I've seen teams with the talent to really do something. So that they come in with a certain type of prowess that other players might not come in with. And they also demand respect, especially Gilmore. No slight to Cooks. Cooks is a veteran receiver. But Gilmore, I know for a fact when he walks into the locker room that players, especially on that defense, look up to him. I can tell by, remember the post game.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It was tongue in cheek. It was funny, but they was serious. Like, nah, I need this jersey. Stop playing. Because the respect that he demand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm looking at it like, Gilmore is going to demand a certain type of respect, and Gilmore and Cooks being friends, like legitimate friends. I found that out after the trades was made. I just think that they're going to come in and just show them like, hey, y'all, we see what y'all got on this team. We here to add to it, but like, don't take it lightly. This is a big opportunity. And I feel like the younger players, especially like Trayvon Diggs, he's going to be able to learn a lot from Gilmore. But I don't think it's just him. I think the entire DB group, because he's going to come in and come in like a professional, work ethic and everything. And sometimes that type of thing can really drive the room. I feel like Cooks, the thing that stuck out to me about Cooks the most was he has this energy like, I'm happy that the Cowboys want me. Does that sound weird? You know what I'm saying? Kind of like,
no, I totally
everybody
get it.
been hiring him like a hired gun, and he looks like he's excited to be here because he want to like plant his flag finally.
Yeah. No, man, I love it, man. And you can't
overlook that. You can't. You gotta respect that, the fact that you can't overlook the fact that being in Houston for the last couple years, you could lose motivation.
Yeah.
Without question.
Yeah, you can.
Facts.
Yeah.
And
As soon as you get here, it's like new life.
Yeah, and that does say a lot too. When you want to go to a contender, that says a lot about Dallas in itself. So let me play another one of Mike McCarthy's comments speaking about Brandon Cook. And again, this is from Mike Fisher's channel. We got the link in the description. We broke all these down. Okay. Y'all make sure y'all go give him a click. It's just the right thing to do, because he the one that was able to get this content, and it's very good content, but we broke it all the way down. So this is what I wanted to hear, and I want to get y'all thoughts on this. As Mike McCarthy talked about his vision for Brandon Cook. Here we go.
Tell me, what's the vision you have for Brandon in the offense? Well, how does he fit in what you guys want to do offensively?
The vision?
Yeah.
I think just like anything, everybody wants to put, a player in one spot, and we've talked about this before. The versatility of wide receiver play to me is key because when you can play, an individual inside and outside, obviously it gives him more flexibility to get, create more opportunities for him personally, but it also makes the other guys around him better. So I think you can see that now with CD, his ability to play inside and outside, and to have that type of versatility. But I think if you're going to line him up, his outside vertical routes, I think is exceptional at. You can see the production that he's really had in every scheme that he's played in too. So, we have looked at his route tree, the routes that he's primarily been used at, what he's been productive at. So, we'll pay close attention to that.
Start with you this time, Ro. Now, the things that I heard was we took a close look at his route tree on how they used him. He stressed vertical. But the thing that I loved is the versatility. I want to get your thoughts.
I like this is funny. There was this chart when we first got Cook. Somebody put this chart out on Twitter showing all of the routes that Cooks were good at. And the irony is like all of his routes that he's really good at were stuff that we didn't emphasize in our offense the last three years.
Right.
Stop routes and comeback routes were his worst routes, which is ironic. But I just feel like, when you are running an option route system, we've talked about this before. Once the defense realizes if we open up a certain way, the offense will always run the exact routes we want them to run. It becomes a real easy game for the defense if it's a defense that's talented enough to stop it. With Cooks, you can't sit on routes. You can't just be like, he can't run past me. I saw how our offense opened up slightly when we got T.Y. Hilton.
Yep.
You know, and it's T.Y. Hilton. No disrespect to him. He's just a little bit older. He might not be as, fast as he used to be. But when I'm watching some of Cook's routes, it's a lot of nuance. He knows what his best attributes are, and he knows how to use his leverage to get open down the field. He doesn't just rely on, I'm going to just run past you.
Yeah.
He actually does have some route technique from what I've seen. So I feel like the fact that we're going to be able to put a genuine receiver on the outside that you have to respect. When you watch some of the plays from last year when Gallup would line up on the outside, the corners wouldn't respect him. And that's no disrespect to Michael Gallup. He was recovering from that ACL. But you can kind of see in the back pedal, the corners, no one respected the fact that he might keep running.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just feel like just Cook's mere presence is going to change a lot, especially for CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, and what's your thoughts on that? What he was talking about, the versatility, the vertical, the route tree, Law.
Yeah, great points, by the way, Mr. Rome. But one of the things that I want to bring on and just expound upon that is just finding out what players do and then maximize that. And I like the way you said at hitch routes, stop routes, comeback routes were all poor routes ran by Cooks. And normally that is true for most guys that's under 6 feet. When you have a safety bearing over the top, ready to come down and field, those are the less likely routes that can get you in space to keep moving. And if you look back at this would help bring an extra element to the table, a guy that can take the top off the defense, and it should bring forth deep overs, your individual over routes as well, your shallow drags, and that is what the busy work that he can do in a route concept and scheme. Now, as far as my guy Michael Gallup, when he comes back, I just hope that they destroy the hitch and the comeback routes for him and put him into some favorable routes for the outside wide receiver, your slants, maybe a few slow goals, maybe some post routes and some seams for even Michael Gallup. And what this do is you can have some clear routes underneath, and that would make this team more and more efficient, even with their route concept. These are the things that you don't want coming off of an ACL, MCL, or whatever injury that he's got coming back from now. It's routes where you have to stop your weight and distribute it to another side. And that's why I think that Kellen Moore's system was very poo for us, because he didn't put people in favorable positions. And I know I'm long on this delivery, but I'm going to close it on this one. Yes, indeed. I'm going to bring it home on this one. He said that CeeDee Lamb had he could play inside and outside.
Yep.
You got now guys that can all play those inside and outside, even though Gallup, hear me out, Gallup primarily play on the outside. But now you can do a lot of busy work with that, because all three of those guys can play that particular role and within the confines of the system that they're going to bring. And one other point that Mike McCarthy said today is that he's trying to make the offense less complicated.
Oh, wait.
No, I want to get on that.
Hey, I got the clip. I got the clip.
I can go on.
Because you was just going to go on. Hold on. Let me play that clip real quick.
I can do this for hours.
Go ahead, bro.
Hold on. Let me add one thing to what Law was saying.
Yeah.
Basically, I just want to say this, because he said something real small and nuanced y'all might not have caught. You know, the offensive coordinator that we lost, that is gone, he had a whole lot of, I don't feel like this guy can do this in his repertoire.
Right.
To work to a point where he wouldn't even give people a shot. Like, reason why I don't really know what Jalen Tolbert is, because he just wouldn't put him on the field. You know, I don't think Michael Gallup could do anything inside. I'm not even going to never even try and give it a shot. You know, and I think that CeeDee Lamb is primarily a slot. Just that's how I feel when I see him play outside plenty of times and have success. It's just he was so, what do you want to call it, tunnel vision, to where I'm gonna do things my way. I'm never going to even fathom the concept of maybe I can put this player over here because it's a mismatch. You know, it was almost like like I've heard people describe him as like a joystick. No disrespect.
No, that's disrespect. That's damn.
My point is, just is a video game to him. It wasn't really as serious as far as the game strategy, the flow of the game, and everything like that. We heard Mike McCarthy touch on that. It's more so, I'm going to run this because I think this would be fun, instead of just realizing that, okay, in this game, this particular player is a mismatch for this or that, or I'm going to run CD Lamb in the slot no matter what. I don't care if it's a mismatch on the outside. And it's just, when Law said, that it wasn't favorable for Gallup to be running those certain routes, it's almost like he would see it and realize it and be like, I'm still running that route with Gallup. I don't care.
Right.
And that's just, it's silly to me.
Hey, first of all, I see some birthdays. Happy birthday, bro. Who else's birthday is it? I see some birthdays in here, man. Happy birthday, C. That's a day one on this channel. Man, we appreciate you a lot, big dog. Happy birthday. And I agree with Mickey. Turn up, not just this weekend. The new rule is you got to turn up the whole month. For me, it's the whole year. I celebrate my birthday the whole year. But for you, dog, it's the whole month. Now I'm messing with you. Happy birthday, dog. Happy birthday, dog. Happy birthday, dog. Now, here we go, because I can't wait to get into some more of this sauce. Because, see, you already start going there, Law. You start going there. I can't wait to play this. Here we go. Because, see, this owners meeting is real. And I started with the weak stuff. It's going to get better. Here we go.
Pre-snap decisions, does that go pre-snap responsibilities of a quarterback? It seems like a small thing to talk. It's hard to quantify on the outside. Is that sort of thing as well? Just give him less, or is that even possible the way the game's played now?
Football's it's an easy game. If you want your guys to play faster, give them less responsibility. So
wait.
And that's where the secret sauce is in putting together a good offensive system is the ability to be multiple, to have the variations to protect your core concepts, make sure the balls get distributed to your perimeter players, make sure you're giving guys the opportunities that fit their skill set, and with that, it makes it easier and cleaner for the quarterback. So, when you get into the game and you have a receiver that makes $100 million and you have to get him 20 targets or 15 targets, that's difficult. It's
hold on, wait. I gotta rewind that. See?
Yeah.
Damn. I gotta rewind that. What did you say about money and targets?
You have to get them 20 targets or 15 targets. So, when you get into the game and you have a receiver that makes $100 million and you have to get him 20 targets or 15 targets, that's difficult. I went through it with Aaron in Green Bay. Just he throws it to the open receiver, and our perimeter players will understand that we'll create their opportunities, but everybody's got to do their job, and he can't be in a game worried about trying to get a guy the ball. That's my job. That's the coach's job. So, and I think with that, and it's human nature. It happens all the time. It's a guy's frustrated. He needs the ball, and everybody's personality is a little different. So. These are all common challenges that you go through all the time, and we just want to be better. We just want to take another step.
That's a lot right there, man. That's a lot right there.
Yeah, man. So the things that were standing out to me, Rome, was the simplifying of the offense, making your guys play faster by simplifying the offense. I don't even think he taking a shot on this one at Kellen. I just think
he was shooting at Kellen.
He was shooting.
Make no mistake.
He was shooting.
Was it?
I said that earlier on Twitter.
Go ahead, talk your talk, bro.
He was shooting at, first and foremost, he was shooting at Kellen. It shouldn't even be taboo anymore because it's been reported nationally that they had issues.
Yeah.
So it ain't even like a secret, don't say that because people gonna look at it weird. They know that they didn't like each other, and it was a difference in philosophy.
Yeah.
It was. I was born with a golden spoon in my mouth, and I can do no wrong because I was enabled, and then eventually that enabling was his end all. It ended up being his end because like I said, Joystick be out there just calling plays with no type of flow. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that we drafted a receiver that was so hyped up last year in Jalen Tolbert, like I'll keep going back to that. And the fact that it's the whole next year, I have no idea if he's bad or good.
Yeah.
He ain't get a shot.
It
ain't like I can point to like 5 plays in a year, like every time we threw the ball at Jalen, it just ain't work out.
Yeah.
You know, and what did Jalen Tolbert stress to Mike McCarthy's point? I was thinking too much.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I couldn't just fly. You couldn't just put. That's why, and this is another reason why we couldn't bring certain receivers in during the year, because they probably like, hey man, let's go get that receiver. Our receiver room looking weak. They gonna understand this complicated system. We can't bring them in.
Yep. You can't bring them in.
And this was uttered too, even from your boy T.Y. He was sitting there like, man, this is kind of like, hey, it took him. Remember, he wasn't prepared to play that extra week early because of the system that was put into place.
Yep.
So you on point, man. You right on the money.
Look. But Andy Reid can bring in Kadarius Toney and get him in the game within 3 days.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
How's that even possible?
Hood boy.
Yeah.
Let's add that to it too. Let's just add that to it too. Yeah. So I'm excited because we are getting ready to simplify this offense.
Yeah.
It's playing out exactly like I figured it would when we lost Kelly, that they go simplify this offense, and I think it's gonna be what we've been waiting on. Because
did you hear that one thing that McCarthy said though?
Well,
you hear it, but the one thing that stood out to me real quick. He said that's the coach's job. I need to worry about that.
Yeah.
That type of assertiveness, Kellen Moore don't even got that in his bag. He not assertive at all.
Right. Yeah.
So Mike McCarthy, the type of dude that will command his quarterback and his team. We doing this. Kellen Moore is going to suggest some things.
Right.
It's different. You got to come in with some type of confidence and directive. Kellen Moore ain't leading no room. Like when we walk into, if it's an offensive situation, Kellen Moore's like, I think this will work. Mike McCarthy will look somebody probably in the eye and say, I know this will work because it worked before.
Right.
And let me say this right quick about that. You see, I think that Mike McCarthy, with the intentions, were to originally help Kellen Moore. But what happened in 2021, people were looking at it like, we don't need Mike McCarthy.
That's what happened.
It's the boy wonder. It's the boy genius that's doing everything. And he said, well, hold on. So you mean to tell me if I'm helping you out with this particular situation and scenario that now I get to ask? I tell you
want answers?
You install it, you call it. You see what I'm saying? Because now y'all putting it on me when it's not. And then when I go in and get help and I help the man, y'all give it all to him. So I tell you what, this is what I'm going to do. You install it, you call it. I guarantee you that's what happened.
To law point. Look, y'all don't even remember. McCarthy been throwing shots at Kellen through the media for a while. Yeah. McCarthy threw his hands up and said, I don't even know this offense. I don't know nothing. Like, you know that everybody took it as Mike McCarthy stupid. No, Mike said, man, they ain't even me. None of it's me. Don't point to me. It's all him. And people took it as, Mike don't even understand what they call him. No, Mike understood the offense. He's just like, I'm washing my hands. My fingerprints ain't on this. So at the end of the year, when it failed, y'all got to put it on him.
Yeah.
Mike McCarthy was smarter than Wade Phillips.
He was.
Wade Phillips was that guy that walked right into the axe.
Yep.
You know, he walked right into his own grave. Because ironically, it was crazy that all of a sudden he got cut and then they started playing better on offense, right? Come on, y'all. It was the same song and dance. I promise you, it could have been Wade Phillips calling Mike McCarthy and say, hey, man, don't do that. Don't do whatever you're thinking about doing to put the fire out. Because what will happen here is that they're going to ask you when things don't come right.
Yep.
That's a fact.
He played it perfect politically. Perfect.
Yo, yeah.
Now,
people underestimate his intelligence.
Yeah, his political savviness is top notch. Now I'm finna really show y'all. See, Law, you and Rome say y'all on point because what you just said, Law. Listen to this.
People look at your background, they just think about, West Coast offense, how different is this going to look? But is it really, I mean, it's kind of a fusion of the two, and is it really more maybe protections and things like that versus
I don't see a huge change in the run component of it.
I don't see a change in the run component of it. See, the run part, I'm going to keep that the same. But listen. What's up, landlord? He say, so the final word, boss, law wrong, but this because boss producing his, I appreciate that, big dog. I appreciate that.
Automatically, I think it's just like anything. If you put 3 play callers in one room and you gave them the same playbook, they're all going to call a little differently. So I think that's to be expected. I think second point is you have to evolve it every year anyways. If we didn't make the change of play caller, we'd be evolving anyways. We look the way we evolved from 2020 when I recommended us run the ball back then. And
wait, Law, what did you just say? Look at his face, Law. See, you got to look at body language. Come on, Law.
Go back. Rewind it one more time. Rewind for your mind, man. One more time, man.
What did Law just say? He said in 20. Man, come on. See, this is why y'all got to rock with Rome. And listen.
We'd be evolving anyways. We look the way we evolved from 2020 when I recommended us run the ball back then.
Wrong. Am I tripping? Wrong.
I told you. He been throwing shots at him for years. Problem is, it's like that break glass moment. You can't once you hear it, you like, hold on, and you almost got to go back and rewatch all interviews where you like, was Mike throwing shots?
Yo,
hey, he said when I recommended. Law, did I see that? Did we just see that?
Boss, go back and watch some of those games. Mm-hmm. And when a bad play happened, watch Mike McCarthy's facial expression. Yeah. When bad plays are called, it's almost like every time, he just be looking frustrated. Y'all remember the Green Bay game? That's when he hit it. That's when he hit the wall.
That's when he hit the wall. He hit the wall on that. Go ahead, Law.
Yeah. Nah. And if y'all refer to that Green Bay game, please don't go watch my review of that game because, man, I got yellow flag to this day on that game. But I'm gonna tell y'all. It now everything kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Some throws and some deals were not necessary, and that's what he means. Because a lot of people think that when he say run the ball, it must mean that they're gonna run 45 to 50 times a game. No.
We brought Cooks in the block. We needed an extra blocker.
Yeah, right. So you don't eat your dessert first, and it's good to eat, but you don't eat your dessert first. And I think that Kellen Moore, he was backwards. He was trying to eat dessert first. He would eat just all type of crazy stuff the wrong way. And Mike McCarthy is talking about putting concepts, principles, scheme, and systems together so that we won't look like a collector or collections of plays.
Look, Law. It's as simple as this. If your quarterback, because everybody think that I'll never say anything bad about Dak Prescott. They think it's just he unfathomable. But
the 7%.
If you look at Dak, say Dak's having a struggle 2 weeks.
Right.
As an offensive coordinator, you would think, you know what? I'm going to get in the lab and make sure that his next game, it's gonna be such an easy game. I'm gonna create easy throws, concepts, high precision, accuracy routes, so that he can it's impossible to mess up.
Yeah.
Kellen's like, nah.
I'm gonna throw the book at this dude.
We gonna run more option routes.
Right. Dessert first, now,
We gonna make you throw in between Fred Warner and another linebacker in a playoff game. We're not gonna create no easy concepts, considering that Tony Pollard hurt. You know what I'm saying? We don't have anything in our bag. He have no contingency, no emergency plans. When his system break down, Kellen just like, look, man, just run it. It'll work.
Yeah. And the problem is when you have peer-to-peer coaching, right?
Peer-to-peer.
Prescott, this is definitely a little bit on him, but here's the problem. He can't grow no more than what he don't know. So it's like blind leading the blind, So when there's things that needed to change, Dak didn't know no better himself. He didn't. So at the same time, for those 7%, that say, well,
7%.
Dak Prescott, you know what I'm saying, is the problem. And yeah, Law Nation just an apologist. What you want him to do?
Let me keep
want
playing
him to
this
do?
clip. Let me keep playing this clip.
Right,
Here
play
we
it
go.
again. Yeah.
Decisions and all. I mean, does that go pre-snap responsibilities of a quarterback?
No, I'm sorry.
It seems like it's
2020, when I recommended us run the ball back then, into 2021 to 2022, that's an evolution you need to continue to make. So I think how we play this year will be similar to how we played last year. But yeah, protection, we definitely want to be better in the area of protection. That's something we spent a ton of time on early in the process. I think anytime you can protect your quarterback better, it's helpful. So if you look at it, I think we were 68% completion percentage last year. We want to be above 70. So we're just trying to. You're always trying to improve your efficiency. So obviously the giveaways is another thing we're focused on. But to me, those are all normal focal points in the off season, and that's where our focus has been.
Now I want to play this one real quick. To see this next part that I'm getting ready to play. I'm almost certain nobody peeped this. All right, so this is a big deal of what's getting ready to happen in our offense. So listen close, and we go around the circle. Now we finna pick up. Now if you ain't been paying attention, pay attention, because the vision of our offense, he finna let it out the bag. See, because this one thing about these owners meetings that I want to kind of say is different. Remember when Mike McCarthy's at the press conference, it's a controlled environment, right? So he got only so much time he go be up there. He never want to talk all day because Mike McCarthy is not the type that want to give away a lot. You know what I mean? So it's controlled. In these owners meetings, notice Mike Fisher, all of those reporters just surrounded him at a table. You can't move. So they just pounding you with questions. So he coming out with what's getting ready to happen. So y'all listen to this and tell me if y'all pick up what the offense is getting ready to be. Here we go.
He's been to a lot of different schemes.
Yeah.
Is that scheme friendly, quarterback friendly, a guy that can jump into a different place and still have the same success?
No, I think it's a great point. I think it definitely shows his versatility, and I think anytime you jump from scheme to scheme, I know for me personally, and now to have the opportunity to coach the last couple of years in a digit system based, it was made from a digit system, and now and being a West Coast offense individual my whole career. I mean, when you learn other systems, it just broadens your football education. And I think Brandon definitely brings that.
And so he was talking about Brandon playing in multiple offenses, but another thing that he talked about that he snuck out, the digit system. And that digit system is talking about option routes. And he was saying that basically we go take some of them option route concepts. It's not going to be on the level of Kellen Moore, but he's saying, and I'm going to show you more proof of that because he went into detail of Schottenheimer and the digit system. So, but what's y'all initial thoughts on hearing that? I'm going to start with you, Ron.
Well, the crazy thing is, to your point, Mike McCarthy said he said in a previous interview that you've broken down, boss, it's not that he just hates option routes, period. He said there's a place for him everywhere. I mean, in every let's say every game plan.
Yeah.
It's the fact that I feel like they were overused.
It was just too much. Yeah, it was too much.
Poorly used.
Yeah.
There was no strategy to it. It was just we're running option route. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But to the other points that Mike was making when he was talking about the completion percentage and where he wants the offense to be, I think it was more so him tipping his hand to he wants the Cowboys to have an identity. You know what I'm saying? And it seemed like when our back was against the wall, we just would throw plays at like anything out there. You know what I'm saying? Like in certain games, like if you look at certain old Green Bay games, you would see when the game was on the line, there was a go-to. There was no type of nervousness. It was like, okay, we got this. And although we did a whole lot of 2-minute drill work, from what I've understood, it still was being ran by Kellen. Like he said earlier in the interview clips, you can give somebody the same playbook three different offensive coordinators, they all call it a little bit different.
Yeah, he said that.
You know.
Yep.
So I'm looking at it like this. Mike just wants us to be more prepared. We're just, like I said, I heard an interview where he was called joystick. Basically, he's just out there calling stuff.
Yeah.
I know that sounds disrespectful because his offensive concepts weren't completely trash. Obviously, they got us to the #1 offense in the league. It's that when you don't have a point of view or a direction you're heading in, you're bound to fail. I don't care how talented you are. And a person that's less talented with a plan will always defeat you if you're more talented with no plan. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like, let's take LeBron James for example. LeBron James might be the most talented basketball player we've ever seen, although I'm a Jordan fan. But the proper strategy, you've seen LeBron lose multiple finals because sports is a game of strategy. And we haven't had strategy on offense. We've just had offensive concepts that work against inferior opponents.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But when the talent meets the talent, and now your true offensive scheme got to dominate smart players, it was a disconnect. And Mike is just saying, hey man, I want to be precise in everything that we do. And as soon as he said that completion percentage should have been higher, because you would think, 68, that's pretty decent.
That is pretty decent.
Mike's like, nah, we was running the right stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They would be 72.
Right. 75, 72. Right.
Yeah,
let me play this real quick, Law, before you go, because this is the B part, which was later on in the interview. Check this out, and then I want to get your commentary, because he go into detail.
Like when you first came here, you didn't change the offensive language.
Yeah.
And it seemed like a wise move. Do you make some changes in that regard now? And how is the install going?
Well, the only language change that we'll make is to the new things, and we've been very sensitive to, how things were called before. Because,
So that answers a question that a lot of people have been having about language, right? And keeping the consistency, because a lot of people have been concerned about that.
Because you got two guys that have been in the West Coast offense, and Brian Schottenheimer and I. And the beauty of Brian, he's also coaching a digit system, and Brian is,
So when he's saying digit system, he talking about option routes.
Has his own, playbook to say, which is a combination of both. So this has been a big.
See, he finally said it. Now we heard it. It's out there now. So Brian Schottenheimer, we gonna come back to that, Law, but he pulled a cat all the way out the bag. So for people that been wanting to see what our offense getting ready to be, Brian Schottenheimer is gonna run a combination of optional route in West Coast. He just said it. That's why I'm happy that they kind of surrounding them, cornering them, keeping them in that circle, making them talk. The only thing I don't like about it is our ops can hear this type of stuff too. But for those of us who want to get a clue of what's getting ready to happen, that makes me feel good that we not totally eliminating option routes. It looked like we just go running smarter.
Very good fit. I think the new wrinkles that we have will probably be terms that we feel fit the current terminology, or if it's brand new, we may use some of the West Coast terminology just because there's history. See, I'm huge into the history of concepts. Just fortunately, being in the same offense for 30 years, when you say flanker drive, you say double, pantcher. I mean, those concepts are more than just routes in a read for the quarterback. So, there's every play has history. When it came into the league, what it was primarily used, we have a thing we call PCP. It's, the player play expectation and what we want out of each play. So, and I think just locking that down a little tighter, I think it'll be helpful for us.
Man, great. When we say system, that's one thing. Scheme is another. Concept is another. Philosophy is another. And when y'all put those things together, it's strategy. Mm-hmm. And the Cowboys really didn't do that. We would go for 1 week, 14 personnel. Oh my goodness, unbelievable. 13 personnel. Oh my goodness, unbelievable. And then the next week we'll go into 11, etc. So when I say these type of things, what Mike McCarthy is saying that, hey, history is involved. So when somebody running an F route, and that's F route is in the middle of the field, it's already principles put into place and strategy already put into place. 30 years of historical data put into place, y'all. So when Mike McCarthy said he didn't want to really change the language because of the Dak Prescott to Kellen Moore relationship was there, right? And it would have been breaking down the nuances of wide receivers, etc. And by him having Kellen Moore on the system and scheme or what have you, or whatever was put into place, he didn't want to destroy that. But it wasn't his. It wasn't his because he was forced to keep Kellen Moore. There's no one that will be going into a situation in a scenario to go and purchase a car and say, well, I don't know how to drive the stick.
Right.
And you only have a limited amount of time to finesse that. So what Mike McCarthy did said, okay, we're going to make it still automatic because that's the level that he's on because he can't drive the stick, and we're going to keep it rolling. But now that we can get more bang for our buck with information and knowledge, now we're finna see the true Mike McCarthy now because he got someone that can understand the language that he spit out. And here's my 1,000 truth. Write this down, y'all. Kellen Moore wasn't 1,000% trash.
No.
He had some good thought track. But just didn't know how to apply it. And we see it all the time.
Not enough season.
Yeah, my little one is real smart. My little one, I got a 6-year-old. She's real smart. On Roblox, she know how to move around and do a whole bunch of stuff. But she's 6. Just because I hand her car keys, I mean, she's smart. She got all A's. And if I go hand her car keys, and then, I got a nice, fancy automobile.
Too much for her.
It's too much for her.
Yep.
We're going to be in a ditch somewhere, man. I'm going to be on chapter 12 note. Man, Law Nation over here giving a 6-year-old car keys, and she can't drive it. Breaking news, Law Nation is going to jail. For allowing a 6-year-old to drive him around. But we know that there's concepts and knowledge that was there, but it wasn't applied right. Going empty on second and toe. It's like literally leaving a gun and a knife on the table for Dak Prescott in an infant stage. Even he been in the league for 7 years. The concept, what are you doing that for? Why are you spreading it out? If we ask Kellen Moore to this day, what was your concept? What was your principles? What was your scheme? What was your philosophy? What do you do in order to win games? When you have the lead, do you know how to take care of it?
Do you close it out? Yep.
Do you close it out? Yeah.
It's one word: accountability.
Get him.
He ain't been held accountable. You know who else ain't been held accountable? Dak Prescott. It's hard for somebody that you look at as a peer and an inferior person to you because he used to play behind you. At a point, he was your backup. I feel like, they was both peers and in the quarterback room, and now all of a sudden you supposed to be my boss. Like, y'all remember, because y'all football historians, y'all remember Mike McCarthy used to run this thing called quarterback school.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I've been doing some research in that, trying to find as much stuff on that as possible. And the clips I found was people saying that Mike McCarthy used to take the quarterbacks and break down the entire season.
Yep.
All of the plays. You know what I'm saying? And hold, what was you thinking here? Why you do this? What was that? And the thing that stood out to me about that is Dak Prescott ain't had that.
No.
Kellen Moore ain't pulled him to the side and asked him, yo, what was you doing right there?
Nope.
And y'all know I love Dak. But everybody need a little like
kicking the behind.
I got a 7-year-old here. Everybody need a little. What was that for?
Yeah.
What was that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I do it to my daughters all the time. Why did you make that decision?
Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody need a kick in their behind. Everybody.
Yeah, he get a whole lot of. It's gonna be all right, Dak. Let's get him. Let's get him next drive. Nah, Mike need to pull him to the side. Yo, what was that?
Yeah.
Because that makes you, as you said earlier, that makes you grow. I think Law was the one to say that.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
So check this out. The main thing that I loved from hearing him explain what's getting ready to happen, because I never wanted him to completely get rid of the option routes. I didn't want the option routes ran as aggressive as we ran them, to where it's like 4 people running option routes at the same time. If you have particular people running option routes where Dak has a chemistry with a certain weapon, like for instance, Dalton Schultz was the perfect guy to run option routes with because he was always where he's supposed to be. Now, Lamb, you might want to.
But hold on. The only reason why I said Lamb,
is
because I think that was necessary growing pains.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying.
Yeah. So Lamb, I can have 2 guys to run options. Schultz, but now Schultz gone. Now I can only see 1 person running options this year.
Yeah,
and it's Lamb. I don't want Ferguson and Peyton Hendershot running some options for me. And normally that option routes is reserved for bigger body guys, especially in the middle of the field,
and
because
smarter
they can
guys.
play with leverage. Right.
Smarter guys.
So especially if they bracket, they can scoot inside. Ooh, let me know.
Check this out. Mike McCarthy said, I feel like players are going to be able to react faster when they stop thinking.
Yep, that's true.
I feel like Lamb ain't even tapped his full potential because he been thinking too much.
And see, and that's real all the way. And I don't
Lamb is out there thinking too much.
I don't want Lamb thinking. I hate it.
Got that physical specimen need to just be balling.
He just need to be balling.
Man,
come on, let me put the camera back on Rome.
Just saying.
Yeah, and that's gonna make us better. Now,
boss, before you go to your point, how many routes did AJ Brown ran last year? And I know it's a different system, but how many routes did he ran?
Slant.
Yeah, he was an in-breaking route guy all day. In-breaking all day. Where's my camera? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they didn't ask that. They paid that man $100 million. They didn't ask that man to, hey, let's option here. Slants, go, and breaking routes, right?
Yeah, simple. Yeah. They simplified it.
If you press up on me, slant and go.
I do want our tight ends, though, Law. I do want them to run option routes only because it's a simpler read. That's it.
For Ferg or both?
All of them.
I'm still mad at Hendershot for that damn drop in that doggone game, and he calls it INT. And I know we still won that game, but that's my guy though. I see though. I might allow those young boys to do that. You know,
I'm gonna tell you why, Law. Only because the reads are easier. Like the linebacker drops are pretty much the same between cover 2, cover 3, cover 4. You know what I mean? Right. Hook flat. right.
Hook flat.
Right. Yeah. And it's a shorter throw. You know what I mean? So you find that pocket easy. It's a shorter throw. Remember when we interviewed Novacek, he said that, remember?
True.
So I see what you're saying. With rookies, it is risky, or younger tight ends. I agree with you.
And going back, and I hate to pull the scab off of it because it happened all the way healed. That second INT that Dak threw in that San Fran game. If it was just a simple drag, shallow drag, it would have worked. But stop your feet working back to you. Yeah,
you allowed the defense to recover. That's our. I see teams take advantage of that on our defense all the time. The ball is out before the defense can recover. We got the players running downfield. They stopping, and the defense has I know what he's about to do. They get the break on the ball, and Dak Prescott, unfortunately, he's like, I gotta let this ball go regardless. I don't even have a good hot route. I don't have no type of contingency plan. I gotta let this ball go instead of just throwing it away, which he probably need to work on doing that in certain scenarios. But when all of your put like this, when the game's on the line and it's 3rd and 10, and because of our system, all the players run the same comeback route. It ain't that it was designed to be comeback routes. It's that the defense didn't realize, if I open up my hips this way on my drop back, they always gonna run a comeback route.
They sit.
But you know what baffled me though? It's still it's like I'm pull off the wound, I'm pull off the scab even more. And it was 2 different game plans for what you did against the Bucks versus the Niners. Like you gave my guy 13 slants against the Bucks, right? He didn't have any sits. He didn't sit on any routes. He slant, and y'all go back and watch that play. I'm like, Gallup was eating. Even the tight end was eating on those slants, and you had routes where those guys was continue to move their feet. And then the next week, you had these flag routes, four curl routes, hitches
Joystick,
and comeback.
man.
I'm like, come on, man. Like, keep that same game plan. But granted, yeah, Pollard did get hurt or what have you. But, man, come on, man, with those routes. And I know that's water under the bridge now. We won't be having these issues for the 2023, though.
Hold on. Wait. Hold on real quick. I missed some super chats.
It's context, though. It is.
Hold on. I missed some super chats. I'm seeing a lot of people giving super chats saying that they doing us bad on the likes. So,
oh wow,
yeah, they say it's a lot of people watching, but it's saying that the likes are down. So we need everybody to kind of take a break.
Like button, man, on all sides.
On all sides. Thank you, Mickey. I just not saw it. I'm sorry for missing it. I got caught up listening to all y'all and listening to this good.
See, because when I'm talking to y'all, I feel like we just on the phone.
Yeah, that's how I felt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got too comfortable. I took my eyes. Mickey literally put out here, man, we got to take us a light break. So. You know, it happens all the time when you get this type of panel. When you get this type of panel, you got Rome, you got, you know what I'm saying, Law, and then we talking about these current events and we learning about the offense. You'll just forget to hit that simple light.
Law made an excellent point. Y'all remember the Chicago game? I didn't see that tight end formation ever again. I'm still mad about it.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
No,
let's get rid of it.
Yeah. I'm just like, yo, when we gonna make somebody defend that? We not. We never run it again. That was one time thing. And that's what Kellen do. Like, oh, that worked. I don't need to do it again. That's so confusing to me.
Yeah.
Now
that's like who started the Wildcat back and it was brought it back? Was it Miami?
No, that was
Miami. Yeah.
That was Miami.
Yeah. Ooh, they beat the brakes off the Patriots, and then the Patriots eventually.
When they brought the Wildcat, and everybody started biting off it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cadillac,
what if they ran the Wildcat one time and just was like, nah, that was cool, and just never never did it again?
So I found one of your super chats, Mickey. Did I miss another one? But hey, check this out. Let me know, Mickey, if I did. Just leave your comment and I'll take it again. I'm sorry. But check this out. Now, I'm sorry. We got to get into the goofy stuff. Y'all ready for the goofy stuff?
Is it wee woo or just goofy?
It's wee woo.
Wait.
Let me just let it play. Now, this is going to confirm it, and we going to kick our feet up and talk about this one. Here we go.
Talk about protection a lot. Tyron Smith coming back and just where Terrence Steele is and his return and how you envision, because you have three pretty good talkers there, how you envision.
Yeah, we've been talking about that, and it's hey, get your your five most veterans on the field the same.
Now he's talking about Terrence Steele.
Time, I mean that's a very fair outlook, but how you train those positions, because you're definitely 17 games it's a long year, and we haven't had, the 5 linemen with consecutive starts, my time here. And you have to pay attention to those statistics. They're real. We've lived that the last 3 years. So with that, we need to train that way. So we're going to have position flex with some of our players. Some of our young guys need to take the next big step, and I think they definitely will. Lasco and Ball, and so I think Matt Farniak's in there every day. So these young guys need to elevate, and hopefully we'll continue to add to that room too. So position flex will be important because ideally I'd love to line up. I mean, I tell you this all the time. Just you look at the statistics of an offensive line that has consecutive starts, it directly equates to winning football games. I think Philadelphia had the highest.
So that was some good knowledge he dropped right there, though. That was some real good knowledge. That's some just connecting the dots. Let me play that again.
It's a line that has consecutive starts, it directly equates to winning football games. I think Philadelphia had the highest 5-man start this year, if my numbers are correct. So that's important, but that hasn't been the case for us, which is fine. But so we need to train that way.
So Terrence will cross-train a little bit at guard.
I mean, we're talking about it. Yeah.
Wait, no,
wee woo.
Look at his face, Law. He said with Terrence Steele train that guard. Look at his face. Look, just the body language. Look.
A little bit at guard.
I mean, we're talking about it. Yeah.
No.
That is wee woo.
Am I tripping?
Yeah. That's wee woo.
That's wee woo.
Slap
Look
him
at his face.
Slap him with that drop, though.
The wee woo.
Mom.
Oh, you see this guy? See this guy? Number one bullshit guy. He do the wee woo.
They asked him about guard. He looked like what? Oh, you didn't see his face? Oh, look.
Until now. I had seen the quotes earlier, but I hadn't seen the
Yeah.
Watch his
Just
face.
context
Watch
with
how
the
he
full-
look
with the
like.
video.
What?
Yeah.
No, watch.
So that hasn't been the case for us, which is fine. But so we need to train that way.
So Terrence will cross train a little bit at guard.
I mean, we're talking about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You want it, bro.
We
Ron,
talking
do you
about
like
it.
pistachio
We
ice
talking about
cream?
it.
Yeah.
We talking about it.
You know,
We talking about it. He said.
Well,
Yeah, we talking about it. Hold on, let me keep playing.
Talking about it. We haven't got in there with those guys yet. All season program starts in April, but yeah, we're looking at all those things. I mean, you got to pay attention. Time is it? All right.
Hi, boss. Take care. Appreciate the time.
They pulled him on Mike. I'm telling you, boy, they had Mike cornered up in there. See, because it's a whole lot of wee-woo going on with that, man. It's a lot of wee-woo. So they over here talking about Terrence Steele at guard. Let's go around a circle on that. Let me start with you, Law.
You saw when he stood up, I bet you he had some sweat under that armpit in that jacket. You know what I'm saying? Because, man, that's a wee-woo moment, man. Because here's my thoughts on it. And I'm not going to leave anything out for the unknown, but let me just say this. You got a guy that's coming off from an ACL surgery. He's recovering. And not only do you don't want to pay the man early, you trying to put him in a new spot. And we all know from the quick math that guards get paid less than tackles. And you got the guy, Duke Manyweather, who's out there fighting for his man, to say that Terrence Steele is a right tackle, and you have Zach Martin. Don't put the T in his name, just say Zach Martin. Zach Martin is out there that said that, hey, Terrence Steele is the best offensive lineman on the team.
Who said that?
Zach Martin. You know what I'm saying?
I forgot he said that, Law.
He said that. It
Because I
made
had a
my voice
dude
go
fighting
high.
me on that the other day.
Yeah, he said that. So, and my thing is, y'all, why you gonna play around with that? That's wee wooing, you know. So,
See, I would go ahead. I would tell y'all what I think it is. You want me to go and say it down, or bro? If you want to go ahead and talk about this?
Nah, look, I've been wanting to talk about this the whole time.
Okay, go. Let's do it. I've been waiting on this too.
Nah, because look. Our ownership, Jerry, I think he get bored. And I think that it's one of the most frustrating things for Mike McCarthy because
You're a little bit away from your mic, big dog.
He signed up for this, right?
Yeah.
And he knew it was coming. Like when he signed up with the coach the Cowboys, that Jerry every once in a while is going to throw stuff out there that don't need to be thrown out there.
Yeah.
But his response, I ain't see that facial expression until now.
Yeah.
So I do believe, because I was a little frustrated earlier. I thought they were serious. I do feel like they got a plan at left guard. They just don't want to show their hand.
True.
That's what it is. Yep.
But
that's what I think it is too.
I don't like the messaging that they're sending to Terrence Steele. You need to be getting behind him with confidence. And maybe they're behind the scenes like, look, man, don't pay attention to what we're saying. But the fact that he uplift, like from the beginning, when everybody downplayed Terrence Steele when he came in the San Diego game last year, the year before last, rather. You know what I'm saying? To where he is now, and to have your owner come out and be like, yeah, you know, Terrence is going to be a good swing. Like, I just ain't like that message. That's disrespectful.
Yeah.
He's earned the respect to be like, nah, he our right tackle. You know, and I know Tyron Smith is a foundational pillar in Cowboys history, and they don't want to disrespect him either. But I would think Tyron knows that this stage of his career that he isn't looked at as the best offensive lineman on this team anymore.
Yeah, he know.
I would think
he know,
but I don't know about them discussions. So I'm just
they actually had that discussion, Ron. Remember when he went up there and he said he wanted to play right tackle? That's because they had that discussion. Remember that?
That's true. That's true.
So he knowing his role, he knowing he'll swing. Let me tell you what I think going on. I'm gonna be all the way on this.
Please do.
This is a trash ass bluff. That's what's going on. Now, this is a bluff, bro. And this is about this. I think they trying to accomplish three things. They bluffing for the draft because they really looking at tackle. This is why I know they looking at tackle. When you read between the lines, what Mike McCarthy been talking about, protecting Dak. Law, where have the sacks been coming from? Has it been coming from the interior or the tackles? Has it been coming from the center guards or the tackles? It's been coming from the tackles. So how you spending all this time talking about you want to protect Dak, but you but you pretended like you got a sure up left guard? No, if you trying to say you trying to protect Dak, you looking at tackle. So what they trying to do, in my opinion, they bluffing. They going out there trying to send a signal. They trying to say we are looking at left guard because they trying to get the scent off of them actually looking at the tackles in this draft.
So who they want, DeJuan Jones?
Yep, I think they looking at all them dudes. And they trying to throw the scent off because it don't make sense. Like, it's too big of a bluff. Like, they overplaying this bluff.
Hey, I give you that. Because everybody talking about it. It's you're right. It's a little too much.
Yeah, it's too much. It's too big of a bluff. They overplaying they bluff hand. They see, and it's another thing they doing, in my opinion. This is a publicity stunt, right? Yeah. So at the owners, so they want to get all the eyeballs, so they throw out some wow. They get all us talking. That's what they always do in off season.
National media ain't even get it yet. That's tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Tomorrow they're gonna be talking about it.
I hope they never get it, honestly. But you likely right. You likely right. I can see them picking up on this tomorrow.
You know they usually a day late.
You right. You right. You dead right. They likely gonna be but I think tomorrow, this is a major bluff.
Colin Cowherd gonna be out there like. So the Cowboys are gonna play. They gonna talk about guards on the herd.
And Dallas. Yeah, they trying to be cute, and it's like, now you showing your hand. Now, if I'm a scout, I'm not going for it. You know what I mean? If I'm from Philly, I'm saying, okay, I know what they doing. They really targeting one of them tackles. You know what I mean? Because this is just a quality. Because why would you show your draft strategy a month away from the draft? Why would you go out your way to say we trying to solve the guard need? Come on, bro.
You know what's gonna happen? Somebody gonna jump up and take a Vila. Somebody gonna take like last year.
Right.
We were so pointed at guard that they started taking all the guards, and we had Tyler Smith circled the whole time.
Exactly. That's why I actually like this bluff. I do like this bluff. I just think it's an overplayed bluff.
It's overplayed, but here's my thing though. I would not get mad if they draft DeJuan Jones and say, "Hey."
Me too.
I promise you, man. I'm moonwalking, baby. From this conversation.
DeJuan Jones and Tyler Smith on the left.
I'm moonwalking, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And see, and they trying to be slick. I see what they doing, and I love it though. But I still see, because what was they calling Tyler Smith out last year? A left side player.
Right.
So that means you was cool with him playing left guard or left tackle if need be. But now y'all try to act like y'all got him marked down in permanent ink at left tackle. Stop it.
You know what I love about this though, y'all? The thing I love about this is Tyler Smith is one of those players that he really is down for the team.
Yes.
And he's not going to make any fuss. He gonna finally get his "you a left guard" papers, and he gonna be like, all right, let's roll. He not gonna complain. Like, you gotta celebrate that, because everywhere ain't like that.
Yes. But see, this the thing, wrong, because me and the OC had this same conversation. And that's funny you said that, because the OC said that too. Now, this is the funny thing, though. We only got one more year for him to stay humble like this. You know what I mean? This is rookie humble Tyler Smith. But once he make an official Pro Bowl, he can morph into Zach Martin overnight. You know what I mean?
Like, confident, like I'm that dude, as long as the Cowboys take care of him.
Yeah.
Like I said, I love our players elevating and developing properly. I hate when our ownership group comes out and calls somebody a swing tackle disrespectfully. Like, that can go unless, like I said, if this is a strategy, they've all talked to him and said, "Yo, Terrence, we gonna say some things. Don't pay no mind."
Yeah,
and that's different.
Yeah.
But if they really just saying this and Terrence still is getting mixed signals, I think that's corny.
It's corny and it's messed up because the other side they trying to do likely is they trying to. You remember, see, because the Dallas Cowboys do leverage stuff.
Right.
So, and it's whack leverage stuff. So, like, for instance, remember when Dak was trying to get paid and they left him off the promo video?
Yeah, that was whack.
Yeah.
That was whack.
So they do whack stuff for leverage. So this
Right.
is also a whack leverage play where he looking to get paid and they trying to say, we kind of see you as a swing. You're no...
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
no way they can't see his talent.
And
Exactly.
the teams that will be willing to give you that second round draft pick for that tender, like, wait a minute, the Cowboys in house only looking at this dude as a swing now, and it also lowers it also, if he don't go out there and say, well, Terrence Steele is my starting right tackle, and speak with convictions and all of that, then it also weakens the argument for his agent for him to get that top right tackle money.
Right.
Because
Crazy
if I'm
thing is you got
Terrence
a good
Steele,
soldier, though.
I'm looking at Lyle Collins' contract and say, hey, I want that.
You got a good soldier though, man. Ain't he like a coach's son? Like, do him right. When
Yeah,
you
do
got
him
people
right.
like that, you got to do them right.
man. Yeah, but the boys are the boys. I wonder how they're
The boys
going to
gonna be
play it
boys.
out with Parsons. Parsons, although I think that they shouldn't be playing around with fire, but he fool around, he might not get that many edge play, because which one pays more, edge or linebacker? So we'll find out, man, how
How
they
diabolical
don't do
we
it
are.
with Parsons, man.
Oh, they'll play that game until they need him. Then they're gonna throw all that to the wind and get back on their edge a little bit.
Yep, yeah, and they will play that game. They will.
Yeah.
But
I gotta slide in a second, fellas.
okay, all right. We got one more. We got a couple of more subjects. Let me know whenever you got to go. We got you, man. We'll
I would say about 10 minutes.
All right, cool. All right, so here we go. All right, now the biggest thing is this though, that I feel good though. I really do. I feel good that they trying to play poker. They trying. It's just bad poker. You know what I mean?
Hey, I appreciate y'all. Y'all swung me because until I saw that video and you laid it out, I was genuinely. I was like, man, why are they messing up this good off season? Like I was sleeping good, man. I was living right. Well, look, our
That's
rivals
real.
was hating on us for no reason because they scared. And I was like, man, this is a good off season. And it was like, you know what? We about to have Terrence Steele play guard. And I was like, see, we can't have nice things. But now
they bluff.
the way y'all, because DeJuan Jones, you right, Law. I will be. I know everybody want Bijan Robinson, but we get DeJuan Jones.
Yeah,
it's lit. It's different.
They can get 3 of them tackles. Broderick Jones, DeJuan Jones, or Anton, and I'm gonna be lit. And see, this the thing. One of them gonna likely be there. See, Rome, you remember the CeeDee Lamb draft? It was almost guaranteed we was gonna get one of the receivers. Yeah. It was guaranteed because remember that was a deep tackle class and a top one, so we knew they was gonna go first, and they pushed down those receivers. The same thing getting ready to happen with these tackles.
With the amount of edge rushers, the amount of we're gonna have 4 quarterbacks go, bare minimum.
Yeah,
you got 4 quarterbacks, you got edge rushers, you got other positions, you got a couple of D tackles. Oh, I don't think there's going to be a run on not him at tackle. Who the one they got ranked the highest? Skoronski, he'll be gone.
Yeah, he gonna be gone. Skoronski gonna be gone, bro.
Take him.
Yeah, take him. So I got the CBS ranks right here, Ron. Okay. And a lot of people hate it when I show these ranks. These ranks are more so estimates. So just look at it as an estimate of popular opinion. You know, so if you look at what the popular opinion is, it's about 5 guards ranked right at 26. Anton, right? We just Darnell Wright.
Who's your favorite?
Right now, Broderick Jones.
Yep.
And DeJuan Jones are my favorite.
Have we publicly met with any of them or any?
I ain't heard nothing on that.
See, that's another. You know what? That's another tip to you. We ain't meeting with nobody. We ain't talking to nobody.
Yeah.
They showed me with Spears today though. Tulane kid.
But look. What do we put out in the public? See, now you got me in my conspiracy theories.
Let's go. Let's go.
Look, we did put out in the public. We bragging. We got 3 tackles. We got abundance of tackles. We do whatever we want. We tackled up. Ain't no way we taking a tackle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. I'm with you.
And see, this is because notice also one more thing on the conspiracy theory, because we both putting on our conspiracy hats. Who did Mike McCarthy just talk about in his examples? He said Ball, Matt Lewesko. So if you talking about protection, but you bringing up tackles, you got a tackle need.
Ooh.
You got a tackle need. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing. I think I'm seeing what y'all doing.
I think I'm rocking with you though, man.
Nah, I think he told on himself.
Yeah. It's a bad bluff. It's a bad bluff. Go ahead, Law.
That's a subconscious. That's a subconscious thought.
It's a subconscious thought. Perfectly said. Yeah,
because I can give him the short answer to Josh Ball. Like, I just don't see it, right?
Kick him off the team.
I get him. Matt Lewesko still got potentials to me. It just that I disagree with Matt Lewesko opting out on not having the surgery. I wanted him last year while we was out there at Oxnard. Go ahead and get it done, dog. Because if it's not going to get healed then, and you're going to try to heal it on natural without doing the surgery, it's going to go pop again. And now he's delayed. See, he could have went on ahead and had it, and we'd have been okay and cool with it.
Yeah.
So I'm out on Ball just a little bit, but the only reason why I'm going to give him a little longitude and latitude is because we got Mike Solari. He's going to come in, and we're going to see how he operate and proceed to evaluate these guys.
Facts.
That's another situation too. I haven't really watched DeJuan Jones. I'm familiar with him, but I'm just saying, you brought in two coaches that want to scheme the run game, not just run plays. That's two different things. True. And you would want to have offensive linemen that fit what you're trying to do. Not that we couldn't make it work if we had, in a dire situation, but to get the proper offensive linemen in here that you really, really want. I'm sure Solari and
Brian
Schottenheimer both were like, get me this lineman. I know exactly what we're gonna do, and we can get and I know everybody thinking we're gonna go running back high. We can get a great running back later in the draft.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Let me answer these two questions right here. Avante Collins and Chuma, those guys, you're gonna break the pool stick, you're gonna put it on the table and say fight. So that's depths. I'm not mad at depth purposes right there. Shout out to those boys. Those both are now journeyman guys, but you can still go into this draft and get some fresh food. You know what I'm saying?
Fresh food, and I think you being nice about it, Law. Let's say it like it really is, because I know you want to say it. We got a real chance to completely rebuild this offensive line.
Just like that.
Yeah,
just like that. Yeah. And then it just make the most sense, right?
Yeah.
So how
Yeah.
we know?
But look. To your point,
mm-hmm.
If you're going to extend Dak Prescott and give him $50 million, I ain't gonna start another conversation because we be here till midnight. But
you
if
better
you're gonna extend Dak Prescott, you gonna protect that investment.
You better protect him.
You're gonna protect that investment.
Yeah, I'm certain that. Now I know you got to go wrong, so we go ahead and get your final word in, big dog. Yeah. And then me and Lower clause of that. We gonna talk about Zeke at the end because me and Zeke, we got to take us a victory.
Let me say one thing about Zeke in there because I think I know where you're gonna lean.
Okay.
I'll save this for the final word if y'all don't mind.
Okay.
I'm happy with the leadership on this team.
Yeah.
If I can get that across, I know a lot of people for some odd reason they let the media skew how they think about Mike McCarthy and things like that. But I ain't gonna front. This offseason, I gotta give it up. If I could do anything in the final word, I like the way they've been moving.
Yeah, they've been moving.
I like the way they've been moving. I give them all kinds of trash talk every day.
Every day. Yep.
Even my man Stephen Jones. I think even they using, now that you got me in my conspiracy theory, I think they even using Jerry Jones like, you just say whatever. Throw everybody off the scent.
Yep. Throw everybody
that might be
off
part
the
of the
scent.
strategy at this point.
Yep. Yeah. They overplaying that bluff. I like it.
So I just think that we're moving way more strategic.
Yep.
And I'm the Gilmore thing and the Cooks thing and not going for the splash, but going for the player that if you really, really want to look at it, out of the 3 receivers we was looking at, Cooks is probably the best fit for what he's going to be able to do for the offense because D-Hop was just CeeDee Lamb, but later in his career. And Odell Beckham doesn't do exactly what Cooks does, although he still has a little bit of explosiveness when he's not injured. So I'm just, to my point, I just like the way the Cowboys is moving.
Man, we moving good, ain't we, dog?
And now that you got me on that, we moving with, we don't never do bluffs correctly. So now you got me in my head.
Yeah.
This a bluff.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody everywhere. They don't know where they're gonna go, man. And I see it open up the alleyways because I love the way you be fighting on Twitter, man.
Oh man, I'm crazy.
Look, I'm talking about Mr. Rome over there. You know, he be like
Rome don't play.
If I was like the Eagles should be worrying about going back and forth with the Chiefs, right? You know what I'm saying? But they didn't figure they didn't cry for 2 weeks or such. And now they're back to talking about the Cowboys like the Washington team don't exist, the Giants don't exist, and you be minding your own business, Rome. Posting about your Cowboys or our Cowboys, and I see a little Eagles dropping. Yeah, every time you rally them up, the Eagles dropping left and right. I can't make this stuff up.
I gotta say this, Law. This is the thing that made me mad. First and foremost, you know, don't rile me up and then complain when I come through and body you up. Just leave me alone. Leave me. I done had some of your top Eagles guys block me because they just couldn't handle it.
They couldn't.
You know what I'm saying? Secondly, you need to really just look yourself in the mirror and realize that at one point you have to acknowledge, like if you refuse to acknowledge any fault, you're bound to be doomed.
Yeah,
I done seen them dudes go from begging for C.J. Gardner-Johnson to saying that Reed Blankenship is a great safety. At some point, your integrity is compromised.
Ooh.
Yeah,
that ain't even a joke. That's real.
That's real. No, that is very real.
So a lot of their sports integrity has kind of been compromised. So I'm like, yo, you trying to sell me on Reed Blankenship now? Like I can't take you seriously. That's like that's like me trying to say that Zeke is better than I don't know. Who's one of the top backs in the league right now?
Jacobs top.
You know what I'm saying?
Right?
Zeke is better than Jacobs at this stage of his career. Let me put the context.
Right.
You know, it would be like you just being a homer. Right. I understand homerism. I'm good at it. But just say what it is. Don't try to lie to me. But see, Lawden got me riled up because I go on for hours. I'll say this.
Well, I'm going to tune in to him right quick. Here they go right here.
I'll say this, Law. Everybody got a role, whether it's on the Cowboys or not. And in the Cowboys content creation game, I'm frontline. I'm a frontline soldier right now. I know my role. I understand my role. I'm good at my role. And the Eagles fans should hope that one day I stop being good at my role because I'm going to stay on them until I get tired. It is what it is.
So what's your final word? Because I know you got to go, bro. I want to get your final word.
My final word is this, man. I like the way the Cowboys is moving. It's one of the most strategic, concise, point of view ways of doing our offseason in a long time. Like, I haven't seen us do stuff like this. I feel like we got a complete plan, and it's being executed. It's not just freestyling.
It's been executed.
It's being executed right before our very eyes. And now that you got me thinking about this tackle thing, I'm like, okay, they got a plan with that too. So I almost don't want to start celebrating too fast because they might piss me off.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just say I am happy and pleased and proud of the way my front office and my coaching staff is moving this offseason. You know I'm stirring the Kool-Aid.
It's okay too, because I'm drinking it with you, dog. Let's drink it together. Yeah, I'm all the way, man. Y'all clap it up for Rome, dog. I'm so happy my dog came through, man.
Please, can we, I know that tonight I had trouble getting set up. I would love to come back on the show whenever y'all free, man. I want to carve out more time and not be short.
Yeah, let's
no doubt, man.
Yeah, we put this together last week, me and you, dog. 2-3 weeks. Next, I'm cool.
Yeah, whenever you free. You already know how I get down.
Yeah, let's rock, bro. Because I've been looking at the chat, bro. The chat is loving you. You know what I mean?
Well, I appreciate
you. We all
man.
about the community, bro. We'll communicate.
And if y'all stay on, all I'm gonna do is go get in the chat, and my wife gonna be looking at me like I'm crazy.
Man, we appreciate it, man. Me and Law go cover the Zeke thing. We supposed to take a victory lap on this anyway, man. Y'all clap it up for Rome before he leaves. Man. Y'all give me. All right, that was the big homie Rome, man. Y'all support the Big Brother channel. Me and you, Law. Let's bring it home, big dog. Yeah. All right, so we supposed to take a victory lap. Me and you. Why not?
Why not, man?
Because people don't like I told you so. So we not gonna do it like that. We gonna just kind of talk about the Zeke stuff, and we gonna just talk about it from common sense. We gonna close it out with Mike McCarthy talking about Zeke and Dak interceptions. Here we go.
Steven said yesterday that part of the mindset of not giving Zeke a pay cut offer is you don't want to be insulting to the player. How do you? I mean, when a
all the picks and stuff like that, and decisions on the interception.
A decision like that is coming up. What's your input in it? And I mean, do you agree that
the business part of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's healthy. And every place does it differently. I think when the head coach and early out, and I learned this from Ted Thompson because it was his philosophy, and I agree with it. When the head coach is put in a position of finances, it can be conflicting. The coaches have to coach the players. Their relationship is definitely a lot different than the business component. The business individuals dealing with them too. So as far as exactly how and what in the conversations were handled, the business part, I was not part of it.
So the whole business side, Mike McCarthy had nothing to do with that. So for people that want to know about that, that's the confirmation of it right here. Now this is his actually thoughts on Zeke, and then we'll talk about it.
The decision was it to cut Zeke, and what went into that decision?
Yeah, I mean Zeke has been a big part of the Dallas Cowboys, both on and off the field. So I think we're all in tune to that, very sensitive to that too. I know in my time.
See, notice he said very sensitive to that too.
Right.
They've been moving like they very sensitive, Law. Mm-hmm. And it makes sense. They dealing with a leader. I don't think fans really understand Zeke's impact and his toughness to that team. You know what I mean? Right. Like when you go, cause see, that also confirms real quick what Steven said. Steven said, sometimes the best thing is to let them get a feel for the market. The last thing you want to do is do anything that would be insulting to a great player like Zeke. I think, to Rome's point, they are very calculated in on how they doing everything right now. They are not sloppy. Let me let it play. Then you got it, Law.
In tune to that, very sensitive to that too. I know in my time, what I admired about Zeke, going back to the pandemic, when we had our meetings out into the Ford Center, and Zeke sat in the first seat, front row, and so I mean he's very coachable, a great teammate. He's loved in the locker room. So I mean, all those things factor. But I think just like anything, the financial puzzle, you're always trying to put it together and trying to build and grow your football team. So these decisions are always very difficult.
Toughest decision.
So what's your thoughts on that?
Well, it seems as if though collectively it's two ways of it, right? Because the moment they had a chance to get rid of the said number, they gave it to Gilmore, right? They gave 21 to him, and they washed their hands with it. Now 15 is still available. We're talking about numbers, right? Mm-hmm. Ezekiel Elliott on another piece of this got a chance to, or was it Stephen Jones, get a chance to, Zeke get a chance to test the market.
Yeah.
And whatever the market is rendering, he realized that this is what it is. Then he can come back with his hat in his hand and say, okay, all right, well, what are you guys willing to offer? And they probably offer him like an LVE's type of contract.
Yep.
And this could be, from my opinion, a situation where they bring him back after the draft.
Yeah.
You need bodies. We had 6 running backs Zeke's rookie year. And on top of that, when you look at Mike Solari and you think about how his run zone scheme will be in this West Coast system, they run running backs to the ground. And we're going to see what they're going to do. it's a wait and see moment.
Yeah.
I think that, in my opinion, I think that Zeke will be back based off of the conversation that we are hearing.
And the
But
market.
we will have to wait until after the draft, though. I think that's what they're gonna do. But what's your thoughts on it?
I think it depends on Zeke, because I think they want him back soon because of how they got rid of him. They got rid of him the first day of free agency that morning. See, the urgency in that was saying, in my opinion, Law, all right, man, go ahead and go start your talks. The faster you start your talks, the faster we can talk back to you. You know what I mean? So now, as of yesterday, you did a great job of reporting on this on your channel, on how the market and the teams that was put out there dried up.
It dried up, yeah.
They dried up publicly. You name the Jets, they was like, we good. You name Philly, they like, we good. You name, who else he named? It was the Jets.
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati, and they like, we good. So now, what leverage do you have but to come back humble? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's at that point right now to where what you waiting on? And that's why I think, because you reported yesterday a great job of how the market dried up on him. That was also the same day the Dallas Cowboys was winking, saying, we like you, Zeke. See, because sometimes you got to send them out to the streets, Law.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to send your lady, and not you. I ain't talking about you. I'm just saying in general. I want to make sure I'm not disrespecting Law like that. But I'm just saying, just in general, sometimes if they feel like they can do better, go. Yeah. Then when you go out there and you see them dudes ain't worth nothing, you come back and you're a whole lot more humble. Vice versa. You go out there and you think you the player, you can go win all the women you want, and you go figure out they wasn't like your wife. That's where Zeke is right now. You know what I mean? So what you waiting on?
Over here, she's for the streets. You remember?
Yeah, she's for the streets. They send him out to the streets.
From a biblical aspect, the prodigal son, right?
Yes, well said.
And
well said. Way better.
We'll find out, man. We will find out what Zeke brings back to the table after he had seen all of this happen. And we've seen stranger things happen before in Cowboys land. A lot of people young that didn't remember when Herschel Walker came back, when they made a move to get him back on the team. You remember that?
Yeah.
So if Herschel Walker can come back after being traded, you know what I'm saying?
Zeke can come back.
Hey, he was all right. You know what I'm saying? The combination was all right. Kick off return Walker.
And I think people making too big of a deal, Law, out of that number.
The number.
Because 21 is not Gilmore's number. Right? He took 21. But if Zeke come back, they gonna talk it out like men. I bet $1 million.
Oh, you think so?
If he want 21
I never even looked at that. You know
what I'm saying? I think we make it too big. You know what I mean? Like, we just got rid of Zeke. We put 21 on 33-year-old Gilmore. We done. No. If Zeke want 21, I guarantee he'll get it back.
Now there's there's a Cowboy store right down in Cedar Hill. I'm gonna drive up there to see whether or not, if I see a Gilmore 21, I'm gonna be like, man, they sell them things like hotcakes. But if they ain't in that pro shop yet, you know what I'm saying? Then I agree.
That's a good point. Listen, you right on that. The economics of 21. I can't be mad.
Yeah.
I want that 15 to be dope. And they'll double up on jersey sales too. Ooh,
oh yeah,
now
that 15, I go get a 15.
I go get a 15 too, and I like the idea of him having 15 because it's like a new beginning. 21 was the young Zeke, 15 is a new Zeke, 15 a cheaper Zeke, 15 is the dude that got to be humble. 21 was the dude that was the man.
Yeah. Even Dak, didn't Dak wear 15 too? You know what I'm
saying? Yeah, 15.
Maybe Dak would see it even better with other players. Shout out to my guy Dak.
All right, can you go one more? I got one more in here, bro.
Man, I'm all nighter, man. You know what I'm saying?
I got one more, and I think this is the one that I wish Rom could have stayed for, because he brought this up and you brought this up early. This part, listen.
All the picks and stuff like that, and decisions on that. The interceptions, have y'all gone over that?
Yeah, definitely. We spent some time. He was in for whatever day he was in there for. So then he came up and he's in there for the captain's workout. So he came up and spent about 4 hours with Scott and I, and we went back and looked at the decision-making opportunities and of interceptions and potential interceptions, and just talking through. And it's healthy because no different. I mean, I thought Doug did it.
4 hours, Law. Just talking about the 15 interceptions, and they said not even just those 15, the other ones that was dropped. Ooh. True. So you mean to tell me, Law, they not serious about getting that clean? 4 hours?
Clean,
an interception meeting for 4 hours.
Yeah, make it 8. You know what I'm saying? Yes, indeed. Make it a full day, man. 4 hours is a long time in that meeting room. You know how it is in film room.
Yeah, 4
you know
hours.
How it is.
4 hours. Hold on.
Yes,
wait, let me keep going.
An excellent job with the quarterbacks, but the room will be different. I mean, it's just anytime you have a new coach in there, and it'll be Scott's new opportunity too. But Brian and I will be in there pretty much full time. So getting that that landscape laid too. So we just it's pretty fluid.
Speaking. You know what I picked up from there? He says, Scott told Zine would be the guy, but he said Brian Schottenheimer and him would be in there as well. I wonder if we can find clips of him saying that previously, before the year 2023. That's something to think about. I don't really think Doug Nussmeier. I don't think them boys get along like Doug Nussmeier, Coach Mike McCarthy, and my guy Kellen Moore. I don't think that they were in that room working it out like that.
Nah, I sense that too, Law. I sense it just like you sense it. I also sense anger on Mike. See, I think Mike loved football. You know what I mean? And I think he was very pissed to lose against Green Bay, to lose against the Jags, to not be the number 1 seed. He didn't put it in the public, but he pissed. See, because that's why he made that face when he said in 21, when I tried to say we need to run the ball, and he looked like, when we do like that, Law, like Law, remember I said, you know what I mean? You making the emphasis that they didn't listen to me. They didn't listen to me, and the tone was, it cost us.
It did. It did.
But the good news about that is you can see that it's a major emphasis on cleanup. I'm saying emphasis on cleanup. And see, that's why we had to do a whole show, in my opinion, on this final word on the owners meeting talks. Now, notice we didn't do a lot of Stephen Jones and Jerry Jones because we're not really trying to talk about propaganda in games. We wanted to talk about the guy that's talking about football, the guy that's all about football right now, the guy that's truly steering the ship. What's your thoughts on that, Law?
No. You're right. The true of steering the ship. And when you get more and more football conversation into it, it get less hypey. It get more and more bland, and it'll be just like what you thought Mike McCarthy would bring to the table, the unknown. I was watching one of your episodes, and you said Mike McCarthy is just different.
Yeah, he different.
He took the names off the back of the jerseys, the numbers away, and we were sitting there like, man, what is going on? You remember that?
Yep.
And he had tight close-up, views of the player running, and we were sitting there like we wasn't ready for that.
Nah.
He put quarterbacks in red jerseys. It hurt our eyes to see that, right?
Red,
we like, what is red jerseys? Dallas, and we wasn't really used to this.
No.
And Mike McCarthy was coming in with a philosophy change, but slowly, for surely, the Jones family wanted to make their footprints and their fingerprints on this, and they said, hey, we got to have the tight, we can't have those tight shows anymore. We're going to have to showcase more and more. We're going to have you to talk. We need for you to shave. We need for you to put the 3-piece suit on. And all of that stuff takes away, because I think he really said it all when he said, hey, I'm about winning, y'all.
Yep.
I ain't about all of this flash stuff.
That was the money ball right there. And I think it's kind of like what we talked about before. See, because here at the final word, we know we say things that's taking a risk. We know that. But our style is we'll look like we wrong now, but y'all go have respect for us later. That's how Mike McCarthy is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's things that you might hear on the final word that might be early, so you kind of doubting it. But then after it play out, and you look back and say, okay, who was saying it in the beginning? You gonna have respect for Law. You gonna have respect for Big and Boss and the OC and Wrong, because we put our cojones on the line early. That's our style. That's how Mike is. So I think the Joneses looked at it and said, damn, he was telling us right the whole time. You know what I mean? And it built a respect to where they like, so going forward when he say stuff, they like, yeah, let's rock with Mike.
Yeah.
So let's get into our final word. I'm gonna start it off. So from
hold on, before you go, I just gotta say this, man. One more point, man.
Yeah, sure.
No, it's for my guy, Coach Marv. You know, the Coach Marv in there, man. Yeah, Lord, just check this out, y'all. Coach Marv had that deep. Yeah, Lord, let me see, man. You
get the super chat. Read the whole thing. Read the whole super chat, boss.
And he's right on the money, because he's basically saying that you're going to see a mixture of Green Bay Packers
and Seattle. Yep, he told me that today.
And the way they move in that, we can clearly see it. And even when the Green Bay Packers won their Super Bowl, look at what they had on the defensive side. Cullen Jenkins, B.J. Roger, you know what I'm saying? Nick Collins, my guy coming off of the edge, Clay Matthews. And on top of that, Charles Woodson that year. Those were the guys that made it to the Pro Bowl, and I think four of those guys made it All Pro that year. The only person that made it to it was one other guy on the offensive side that made it Pro Bowl. Not even Aaron Rodgers made it to the Pro Bowl that year.
Right.
But you guys get what I'm saying. Coach Marv is on to something on how this team is being built and operated from the defense end, plus the offensive side is a merger of two philosophies of two kings.
Ooh.
And I'm only saying this so that you guys can understand. Dan Quinn got all of his toys. It's time for Mike to get his.
Elaborate. Hold on, dog. You got to elaborate on the two kings, bro. You can't do You got to elaborate. Take your time with that too, bro. Because I heard it. Please elaborate on that. Please take your time, please.
All right.
The two kings.
The two kings. When you have football knowledge and pedigree, one of the things that we can see is fingerprints. When Dan Quinn got the spot, the old fingerprints were wiped away quickly because he didn't have a Kellen Moore on the defensive side. Remember Rob Marinelli's defense, or it went from Rob Marinelli's defense to the other guy, I forgot his name, Mike something too, in 2020. What was his name? Historically bad defense.
That was Mike Nolan.
Mike Nolan, right? So when Mike Nolan came above and came on this team, his fingerprints was everywhere. Dan Quinn came over here. He went and got his toys. He went and got more and more weapons. He got people to fit in for what he do. And the two kings is Dan Quinn, and now you're going to see Mike McCarthy fingerprints all over this, and you seeing it right now from the fact that they're bringing in guys like I said, Brandon Cooks now. Like I said, now you got a situation and scenario that you're gonna have Dak Prescott working in the room with my guy Mike McCarthy, Scott Tolzien, as well as with the what's the other guy, Brian Schottenheimer. So that is king move, because he couldn't move and operate that way when the Prince was there. When Kellen Moore was there. So now you got a true voice. You got a guy that got voice with rings and hardwares under his resume. That's what I meant by two kings.
And see, it's so funny you said that, bro, because it's amazing how we think the same and we don't talk about stuff. You know what I mean? Because I said that's why I wanted you to expound that. I did a whole show talking about two kings.
No way.
I swear to God, bro. Dog, matter of fact, it was about 3 weeks ago, and I called them underground coaching kings. What you just said, Law.
I promise you, right hand to the man. I didn't watch that.
I believe you, bro. I believe you. Of course.
Oh my God.
But see, you know,
Expound
because
on
we
that.
seeing the same things, and I don't see how Cowboy Nation don't see it, how we see it. Like, this is why I'm super high on us with Super Bowl hopes. I'm not just talking when I say that. It's more so because, to your point, Kelly Moore is out the way, and you got two guys walking in lockstep together that got a ton of skins on the wall. Like two generals. And to Coach Marv's point, where you're blending Green Bay offensive philosophy with Seattle offensive philosophy, and we realized today that they also keeping parts of the digit system or option routes.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the two kings, to your point. That's really the taking us to the next level. That's also why Law keeping it all the way 100. I think that's why this free agency is as smooth as we ever seen it, because those guys are lockstep. They are side by side. Because isn't it funny? Me and you said on the final word, big dog. What did Mike McCarthy say? He said the strength of this team is the defense. What was the first moves we made in free agency? Week 1?
Defense.
Defense. So how does that happen unless the two kings are not on the same page? Those two kings are on the exact same. Man, great analogy, Law. Fantastic! And I love it.
Man, great thumbnail on that one, man. And you picked the big dude to be Mike McCarthy,
of
and
course.
the smaller guy to be Quinn. Man, that just fits right in.
You know that's Ned Stark, and you know that's my boy Ned. You know what I mean? I know you on that Game of Thrones. Hey, that's King Baratheon. You know what I mean? That's
Baratheon,
hey, and on the cool, he really was low key my favorite on this show. King Baratheon. Ooh, King. You remember this part, Law? He said, "Which one is greater, 5 or 1?" You remember that part? He said, "What is greater, 5 or 1?"
1.
He said 1. Oh! Everyone put a fist up. He said, "When we together, you can't do nothing with us." I said, "Ooh, you got King Baratheon." That's another subject. Don't get us started on Game of Thrones.
Yeah, boy, we go for another 2 hours. Shout out to you again, Coach Marv. Tell him about the Percy Harvey thing. You know,
that's good stuff. But getting to the final words, man. This owners meeting, to me, showed a lot. It was a lot that came out, a lot of tea leaves that came out. I'm just glad we had Rome on here to kind of help us kind of get through that and break all of this stuff down. I do believe that they're bluffing on Steele at guard. I think it's just a bluff. I'm glad that they smart enough to bluff, because guess what? When they didn't bluff, it cost us. We was talking about Dallas Goedert, and what happened? We was talking about Hurts, and what happened?
He got drafted,
And we got jumped for Dallas Goedert. So now we playing better poker. Mike McCarthy looked like he went in there and was like, "Why do y'all tell the whole world what you're doing?" And then Jerry like, "Hey man, we got to make this money. We make money off publicity. I like football, but hey, we got to make that publicity money. So let's go out there and tell them some lies then. Let's just go give them anything. Let's go tell them that we gonna have Terrence Steele at guard. You still go make your money, but don't tell them the truth, Jerry. You know what I mean?" And we seeing bluffing, and I'm loving it. I'm loving they moves, even though it's distracting. And I do agree with Rome. I do agree. To use his name to call Steele a swing tackle is corny. I love how Rome said that it's corny. Let me show my boy a picture again. That's mad corny. Real talk to do that. But I do get the strategic purpose of trying to throw off your guys. So I like that. I like that Mike McCarthy was clear on likely what our future is going to be. And it's just more and more confirmation that this whole Dallas Cowboy offseason is different, and it's going to make our season different. I'm now to the point where I'm going to go ahead and make my prediction that we go win 15 games.
Man.
That's my final word.
I ain't gonna fight you with that, man. Hey, with that Kool-Aid, man, just put a little hand in mine. You know just a little bit of hand, you know what I'm saying?
I said 15. Let me say 14. 15. Let me kind of take that back a little bit.
Well, no. Don't move off of it,
Don't
man.
Move
because,
off. Stay with the 15.
You know, some right now, I know. We undefeated until we lose. I've seen it every year. 20-0, 20-0.
Yeah.
But
20-0.
I don't like this team. I love it, man. So yeah, I got a little hand in mind. So I would tell you this right here, that the Dallas Cowboys, we are doing things differently. And so when you do things differently, it feels different, right? If you think I'm lying, sleep on the opposite side of the bed. But sometimes there's no growth and comfort, you know? So sometimes even Dr. Martin Luther King said, if you fall asleep on the floor, you don't have to worry about falling out of the bed. So sometimes it's good to sleep on the floor and make sure that, hey, you're going to work your way up from the ground up from here. And I think that the Dallas Cowboys, looking back at all of this, we're working, we're grinding. And the little few things that Jerry doing, let him do that. Somebody said, I think I was on West Coast Cowboys show just an hour ago or 2 hours ago. And he said, man, they doing more than just having a conversation in those owners meeting. They may be having something else going on. And so if Jerry Jones want to speak at the age of 80, the tender age of 80 about this team in the operation and throw people off, then throw them off, because whoever we pick in the draft with the 26 is going to be a special thing. And I can't wait, Cowboy Nation. Let's go. Let's continue to grind and shine. Y'all be sure to subscribe, share this content. We're going to throw a big old party when we hit that 100K, and I can't wait to that day, baby. Let's go.
How close are you at hitting 100K, bro?
Man, I'm trying to get there. My goal is to get there before the draft time for your mind. But hey, it's up to the nation, man. Y'all continue to help grow it, man.
Let's help Law, man. Help Law hit that 100K, man. Everybody, y'all heard the mission. He told you loud and clear. The goal is to get there before the draft. Let's get Law to 100K before the draft, to where we can be cheap like we all are. When you got people that got birthdays, right next to special holidays, they put those gifts together. So the gift that we want for the draft day is we want to just have a big old gift to where we celebrate the draft and we celebrate Law hitting 100. Is that fair, Cowboy Nation? Shouldn't we do that? Shouldn't we help get the greatest and the best and nothing but the best to 100K? It's just the right thing to do. This man will be the first fully independent Dallas Cowboys content creator to hit 100K.
I appreciate it, bro. God. Yeah. Let's get there, man. Y'all help a brother out, man. HBO.
Hey, help a brother out, man. So there it is.
3, 2, 1, drop it.
And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best.
Drop it hard.
Let's go.
It's time to
All right, that was the final word, man. And
let's go, baby.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Shout out to Rome. Shout out to the big homie, man. Shout out to Big Game James and the OC. We miss y'all.
Check us out.
Big word, baby. Big word, I see you.
I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Have to take it to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Hey, tomorrow, man, we're gonna be doing all
Kinda check us out.
Let me turn it down, man.
Lately, I just wanna run it up. Count that too,
to help support the Women's Month or what have you. So shout out to them. We'll do a show tomorrow. Shameless plug, by the way.
One more time, Law. One more time. One more plug.
Yeah. Tomorrow, Ashley Baker will be doing a woman's show, a woman's content for celebrating Women's Month or what have you, or Ladies Month. And it will be tomorrow around 6 or 7 o'clock. So y'all be sure to tune in.
That need that damn button. Where that damn button?
Yes, indeed.
Damn!
Let's go!
Y'all tuned in for the ladies.
Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer, call it too legit. I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up.